Alrighty, folks, let's go ahead and get started. Hey, so I am in Cali, Colombia right now, and it's been a while since I actually done a video. I mean, it's a lot to do here, so as you can see, I haven't been slacking off. I just haven't been doing videos. I've been doing mostly market updates on my Discord down here, right? So if you're on the Discord, I've been doing those weekly, and then I've been giving out some signals here and there. But let's go ahead and look at the market overall. Right now, we're actually looking pretty stable. I have to admit, I believe we gained about 15 million, about 15 billion, correction, 15 billion so far. We went from pretty much last week 3,200 to almost 4,200, so almost $1,000 jump. So however, I don't see the market really pushing past, maybe 4,600 tops. I'll have to look at it in a few minutes with you guys. But right now, I think just because the fact that, plus today's Thursday, usually Fridays is a dump day. So be careful because I do see, a correction coming right now. And it's good for scalping right now. I made 10% on my scalp yesterday. And then I closed it because I wasn't positive that it was going to go which direction. I had a feeling it was going to go up, but I closed my BitMEX long. Actually, I had it. So let's go ahead and look at the top 3 coins, all right? Because those are the ones that are usually on people's minds the most. So we'll look at Bitcoin, Ethereum, and Litecoin. So the top 3 most useful coins right now: XRP, junk; Bitcoin Cash, junk; EOS, scam; Stellar, I like; Bitcoin, Satoshi's Visions, complete scam; Tether, most likely a scam; Tron, another scam; Cardano, I still don't know what the fuck it does; IOTA, I'm pretty sure that's a scam; Monero's cool; Dash is cool; Binance Coin is cool since they're kind of, it's their coin, but at the same time, it's been doing pretty well. But at the same time, it's like, can I really trust Binance? Because they're not very ethical. They're just not very ethical. I don't like that. All right. So again, Bitcoin dominance is just way too high, folks. It really needs to be down in the 40s, like the low 40s, for all coins to start flying like we had, pretty much last year. And don't forget, folks, today's December 20th. If we go back to the charts. Now, this is going to be a little bit longer video because I haven't done it in a while. And usually if I don't do a video in a while, I'll do like sometimes freaking 2-hour videos. All right. So yeah, so just alone, Bitcoin bought in 8.5 billion. Still, that's a really small amount, folks. That's not very large. All right. So this was almost a year ago, right? So back then, all right. So back in December. So Bitcoin was around $16,000. So we're at a quarter of that. So we're 25% down. 75% down from $16,000. All right. And that just shows you if the market's going to repeat itself, we will probably expect to be going to about 25, maybe as low as 2,100. I can't say for sure. I'll do the technical analysis for you in a few minutes. But I really want to take a look at these indicators because, it's going to help to study what's going on. Yeah, there's a lot of, not a lot, but there's a couple of whales out there that are really fucking up the market right now for us. So as you can see, BitMEX is pretty much the dominant market right now because people are scalping, shorting along, playing a little bit here and there, right? So that's what I've been doing right now. I got back into it because now I see that the market is a little bit more, I would say, stable. I think there's a lot more good news and fundamentals, like a lot. I am really, really happy where cryptos is going, especially with mainstream adoption. I don't think we're going to get it until at least early 2020 or late early 2021, right? But a lot of people are looking out for it right now. Some of the biggest names in the world are already talking about it, and secretly, there's insiders buying it. The institutions are secretly buying it. So, but then again, I do see Bitcoin taking I say one more leg down. But then again, you can never be so sure because, people were saying Bitcoin was going to only stop at 10,000, and then it went double that. The best like investors, analysts in the world was saying Bitcoin was only going to be going to 1,700, and that alone was even worth too much. So who knows? But right now, where it's at right now, it's fairly still cheap, right? So let's go ahead and get into Bitcoin. All right, so I'm just going to go ahead and cross everything out and go to the 1 day. I'm going to go to 2 different time frames. All right, so if we look at the month, right? Now, anything on the day and above, you want to be on the log scale, right? Now, let's see. I like to use Coinbase because they're one of the most popular. 2, I use them because BitMEX uses Coinbase. I believe Coinbase, Kraken, and Bitstamp. So I actually use Bitstamp and Coinbase to look at where BitMEX is going, because that's what they use their data from, right? And so I want to have a advantage to see what the market is doing right now, right? And so I'm using the Heikinashis because they're a little bit more, I believe, not accurate, but I just prefer them overall. All right. So as you can see, we're still fairly down quite a bit, right? And it seems to be like forming a wedge, right? A descending wedge. So it is possible that where's my drawing tool? Huh. It's weird. Usually they have the drawing tools for you. Yeah, the brush is right there. Yeah, so it is possible. We could see another leg down to about this area, 2,500, and then it will shoot back up, because that's what descending wedge is supposed to do. Now, whether it does it or not, it's not up to me. Okay, it's up to the market. But usually this is about a 60 to 70%, let's say, fruition, like the prediction. That's what it's supposed to show. Okay. Now, if I have to leave in a few minutes to go get a charger, I will. Right, and if you look at this, actually, we haven't actually closed below, right? So if you look at from here to here, right, we still are technically good. So unless it breaks this month, right? Today's the 20th of December. So unless it closes this month, folks, below here, then I'm getting the fuck out of Bitcoin. I mean, I'm already out of Bitcoin, honestly. I'm just trading it. I mean, scalping it on BitMEX. I'm in fiat through USD Tether, even though I don't trust Tether, but it's a hedge, right? So this is where right now I'm seeing. So I'm going to be watching this on December 31st. So if I see that's going to be like below 3,200, actually, if it's below like 3,500, folks, or between 3,500, 3,200, I'm going to start like getting out, okay? Or I'm going to watch for that bounce, okay? Now, take a look at the weekly. The weekly kind of says the same shit too. I mean, it's not really doing anything different, right? It's just longer. Now, if I move this right here, again, doesn't need to be perfect, folks. And nothing's supposed to be perfect. It's just supposed to show where it's going, right? You just want it to connect the most. That's all. Okay, so on the weekly, it's already been down. So what the weekly is doing is it's actually retesting the bottom support line. So a lot of them will do this. I mean, multiple times over. I mean, not multiple times, maybe a couple of times here and there, right? So like, for example, right here. Let me get a better drawing area. And also avoid being one of those idiots that, talks good about cryptos, and then when it goes down, it doesn't go your way. You realize like you're just another fool in it for the money, just like pretty much all the stocks and stuff, but you're not in it for the vision of it, right? Be in it for the vision. So if you could tell, right, based on this EMA cross, that I think it was Filicon that created this that I use. It's actually pretty damn cool and it's pretty accurate. So I really appreciate that. So gonna give a shout out to him. I've been following him for quite a bit now, almost actually 6 months. At first, I didn't really care for him because I thought he was really like douchey and like just trying to sell shit. But this guy actually knows what the fuck he's doing. He's not like some other British YouTubers that I'm pretty sure a lot of people know, right? He's just a marketing idiot. I mean, he knows how to market. That's about it. But I don't think he knows how to trade. He kind of reminds me of Trevor, whatever his name is, but he doesn't really scam people on that level. Okay, so as you can tell, this literally like went exactly where the cross was showing, right? And so as you can tell, it kind of almost retested. It tried to a couple of times, but it failed, right? So that's the whole thing of it is, just watch for this retest because I feel like this is what it's going to do again. It's going to try to come back on the weekly, right? It's probably going to trail down a little bit more, then try to come back up. And if it can break out of this, it would be fine because we're right now, even on the weekly, showing a pretty good wedge, descending wedge that is. But some things that scares me is this could be a good sign or a bad sign, depending on, of course, which way you want it to go. Obviously, we want Bitcoin to go up if we're long-term investors and we believe in the technology and the vision. But then again, if you look at this, right? Look how much sell volume this was right here, sell volume right here, sell volume, and that's a lot of sell volume, right? So it means that right now the bulls aren't in control, and the bears, right, are doing a lot more. But let's take a look at the Bitcoin longs and shorts. Give me a second. All right. And also it's good to watch other markets like the SP 500, the DG, what is it? Where do I have it? Dow Jones. All right. Where is Bitcoin long and Bitcoin shorts? All right. So looking at Bitcoin long, I'm going to take a look on the daily. Okay, so we pretty much broke out of that, no brainer. So yeah, that's not looking the best right now. Honestly, I really don't look at this too much, Bitcoin longs and Bitcoin shorts, because again, it's not the best because it just hasn't really been like part of my trading strategy. So I mean, it's just good to look at here and there. But right, let's take a look at the Bitcoin shorts. Okay, so the Bitcoin shorts, it was a while back when it kind of pretty much set to get out. So if it's forming a descending triangle, that most likely means that let's see, because there's a couple, depending on where you put it, right? It is possible that it's creating a wedge as well, right? There's no one pattern, right? Because here's the thing, folks. I'm gonna get rid of this, right? If it touches and it continues down, then I see a rising wedge, right? But if it does, but it keeps here, this line right here, right, within this triangle, then it's still valid that it's gonna descend. But either way, it's gonna descend. But if it's gonna complete this descending wedge, then we're gonna see should be a breakout here. All right, but back to Bitcoin. So that's what I see for now. It's kind of hard to figure out like where to put the Fibonacci because it's just like there's a lot, right? So yeah, I mean, if it touches the 0.886, that's exactly where pretty much Thomas Lee, was it Thomas Lee, or it was one of the like the big institutional investors, and he's really cool. He's really big for cryptos. I like him. He's predicting around here, around 2,500, which is exactly the 0.886 area. If you do it from all the way back September, it really depends on where you put it. Where you're trading from, right? So it's up to you. Let's take a look at the 1 day, and then we'll go into Ethereum and Litecoin next. All right. Let me go back to the RSIs and other stuff. All right, so the RSI in the week is it's not too oversold. I mean, it still can go down a little bit more. We went. I mean, there was it went down to 23. CMF. A little bit low. I'm mainly looking for divergence or convergence, and I don't really see that right now. It hasn't done much. OBV looks like it actually wants to pick up a little bit. Right now, the areas I would be watching for is right here. If we can go back up, and it seems like it was testing this area right here. So it looks pretty fairly decent right now. I mean, let me see. Yeah, it's pretty much forming that. Okay. On base volume. All right. So go back to the 1 day. Ooh. All right, let's take a look at the graph on the 1 day and see what's up with this baby. It's a little bit. I mean, we still got a good couple of hours, folks, for the 1 day to close. Let's see. So it did break out. So that was kind of like I don't know, kind of like a sloppy wedge. It's hard to say sometimes. Bitcoin does some like weird ass movements, but that's all right. But what I'm really interested in here right now is that in the 1 day, it is picking up in volume, especially the green. Right. And it looks like it wants to close above the Bollinger Bands and many of the MAs. Oh, I don't have the MA50 on here. All right, so it's still below the MA50, but I need to check the MA50 on the 4-hour chart just to get a better accurate reading. In fact, let's take a look at the other indicators and see what's going on. All right, so the MACD is telling me that, all right, based on future, okay, so it did surpass here. So now my next area I'm targeting is 142. So within the 142 area. All right. All right, RSI is in the middle. So we'll have to really wait to see where that wants to go. Give me 1 second. I'm just going to put this underneath so I can use it better. There. If you can get a mouse that's it's good for your wrist, but it goes sideways, it's better for your wrist. It's more ergonomical. They're usually a little bit more expensive. Don't get the cheap fake ones, right? They should be about like $50 if they're on sale, or get the really cool ones. Like you grip them like this, like a joystick kind of, like the pilots, but it's good for your hands because this is really bad for your hands, folks, over the long run. So that's why I actually don't like to use mouses. Like I'll use the mouse pad and I'll go like this the whole time. But right now I'm using a mouse to make it more accurate for y'all. OBV, we're looking pretty low. Want to see if it can test here again. CMF tells us pretty much like that amount of, I believe, like the price. So as long as that can keep going up, we'll be good. Let me see. Yeah. And we'll see a retest. Watch for this area right here. All right. And then I'm also going to watch for these areas right here. There, these points right here, right? So it's not a perfect line, folks, right? It's an area. Never, well, it's not good to use never or always. Okay, but usually areas is what you want to watch. You never want to watch for a specific point because 99% of the time it's just not going to happen. All right, so let's take a look at it on the 4-hour on the auto. Right, it tells us a different story. Okay, so on the 50 EMA, it's the red line, so right here, right? MA, that's the moving average, so it is above it. So usually if it's above, so if the candle closes above it, here's a trick that I learned on the 50 MA. is that's where you want to go long, right? So it told us exactly here with the cross. I don't know if you can see it right here, but it pretty much said, hey, look, I'm across the 50 MA. I'm waiting a little bit. Now over here, I mean, this is ideally where you wanted to get in, but if you wanted to wait till confirmation, yeah, you would have wait until the candle. Usually the next two candles to close above. Even if it's a red candle and it's still above it, it's still good, right? So like right here, for example, it has a red candle, but guess what? It's still above it, because if you look at it from a trading point of view, it's pretty much forming a flag, right? A pennant or a flag, or whichever way you want to see it, right? And it broke out. Okay. Now it's not like the best flag, but it still broke out. That's the important thing. Plus a lot of good volume coming in, showing us and basically telling us that the buyers are stepping in, the bulls are stepping in. They're doing their job. Now, what I'm a little bit concerned about on the 4-hour is the RSI is way overbought. Now it could trail off a little bit, folks. I mean, it could pretty much do this, right? Right. Either way, right there. I can't say for sure what's going to do, but yeah, it could trail off for a bit. OBV on the 4 hours, again, definitely picking up. That's a good sign. A very good sign. Usually on the shorter time frames, you want to have also the stock RSI, but usually I like to play on the longer time frame. Right. In fact, let me switch out I'll switch it out later. All right. But the areas that I'm really looking for, let's go back to the 1 day, folks. The areas that I'm really looking out for right now with Bitcoin is, let me just get rid of all this nasty shit. We're going back to our charts, right? Depending on where we want to, I like to put my my fibs usually where the breakout or the breakdown occurs. All right, so if I'm watching this closely, right, the areas of interest that I'm really looking out for is, okay, so at about 5,800, right, this area right here, 5,800, let me just use this, right? Between 5,800 and 6,200 is where I have a lot of my focus on right now. If we could break this area and just hold it even for a month, folks, I really see us possibly getting back up to where, a lot of us want us to be. It's just going up higher. Okay, there. And plus, you can tell, see this VPVR right here? Volume, I think it's volume, price volume. Let me make sure. Sometimes I forget because I'm doing so much. I'm doing, hope the internet didn't like die or some shit. Volume profile, visible range. Okay, so that pretty much means where it was bought the most. All right. So this is the area that I really want to watch out for. And then the other area is that it really needs to break 8,200 around this area, 8,000, 8,200 again. Because if you look over here, right, this was an area of a lot of interest. Plus, folks, it's the 1.618 area. I mean, that's a very popular target for target profits. So we can hold that, even if it's in the middle of 2019. Yes, I do see us going all the way back up to the $16,000 range, folks, by the end of 2019. Yeah, if not a lot higher. All right, but we do got to watch out for some things, and we do got to reconsider some other things. So because right now, I mean, the only areas that are really maybe the 50 between the 53, right, 5,100 to 5,500. It's possibly as high as we can go, because I'm really watching for these areas right here, right? So this is that I'm gunning for right now. Right, then again, that's where the All right, folks, let me check real quick. The internet went down. Of course, Murphy's Law. It's really like it worked out perfectly that the internet cuts off the only time and the only day I actually do this. All right, if it's still going, man, I give me 1 second. I'm seeing if it's saved it. I don't know if it's still going, but whatever. I'll just finish it up. Hopefully it saves it. If not, I'll just do a quick market update on Discord with the trading view. Right. So again, I believe the 5,200 is the area that we need to watch. Right. And I don't have my 200 on here. Put that on next time. All right. But let's go ahead and look at Ethereum. Ethereum's not doing the best. It's doing all right. I mean, it did get back up. I was actually expecting Ethereum to go to $50, but it did a good job holding. So let's take a quick look on the monthly. It literally looks exactly like what Bitcoin is doing. Right, but this time it actually looks like it's forming a channel. Looks like it's a bull flag or a bear channel. Right, maybe a little bit like an awkward. Well, now that kind of isn't really a bull channel or bear channel. All right. Well, let's just say, well, from here the best is it's a channel. I mean, it's definitely a bear channel. So let's put it that way. Yeah, I mean, if we're looking at here from here to here, it's kind of forming like that megaphone style. But Ethereum hasn't been looking the best anyways. Let's see. Yeah, it's already below the 0.886, so it's looks like it's all right. Let's go ahead and take a look at the 1 day. Yeah, it's pretty much doing exactly like Bitcoin is doing. All right, so if I was to watch this, I would look at, if Bitcoin goes back to up to 5,200, we're looking at about $160, $150 range for Ethereum, folks. My point of interest right now is, again, it needs to pass the $200 mark. So that's going to be a very psychological number for Ethereum. Okay, to break out of that channel right there. Let's go to the 4 hour and see what we got over here. Okay, so within the 4 hours, once again, EMA. So it told us to pretty much buy at about $86. So we're looking at a good, almost 30% profit. So not too bad. So where do I see Ethereum possibly going? Well, let's see. Okay, so if it keeps within this channel, this range, because technically it's pretty much a channel right now. Right, so right now it looks like the $120 area is going to be because 105 was the crucial area and it already pretty much passed that. So this area right here is where we're looking at. So 120. So if we can surpass 120, we'll see 140 and then 140 to 165 again, but it really needs to hold. Based on this right now, RSI is way overbought, so possibly we'll get some selling. Yeah, it's pretty much about it for Ethereum. All right, and let's look at Litecoin, and then we'll call it a day. So again, looks like they're doing the same thing. So it looks like Litecoin is on its resistance point area right now. So you can see there's a lot of areas of resistance and support. So Litecoin needs to so Litecoin needs to pass about 40 bucks. So this area right here. So if Litecoin can surpass between $40, $42, then we're good to go with Litecoin. All right. Again, it looks like it's also forming a channel. So, yep. Let's make it a little bit more, let's see. Cool. Yeah, that looks a little bit better. All right. Watch out for that. All right, so it's above the Bollinger Bands, above the MA50 on the 4 hours. Yeah. Looks like I believe the market is it's headed to go back up. But again, just be careful because this does look like a 3-wave. 1, 2, 3, a 5-wave. I mean, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that's yeah. So just watch out for tomorrow. Right now, I'm not shorting or longing because I'm not 100% sure. All right. Other than that, folks, cheers to freedoms and riches, and I will see you soon. If I can exit out of this.